describe it as an alien planet. That's normally what I go to. If you can imagine kayaking on Mars, this is like kayaking on Mars.
It's something that you would have to see with your own eye. You know, this is Mother Nature, so the way she formed herself is in a unique way that even Walt Disney couldn't replicate.
Gotta imagine the Grand Canyon if it were flooded.
It just blows your mind because there's really no other place in the U.S. or around the world that's like Lake Powell.
About a 14-hour drive from Fresno, on the border of southern Utah and northern Arizona, are Lake Powell and Antelope Canyon. This trip started with a short, late-morning hike through lower Antelope Canyon. Looking at it from above, you would never imagine what awaits when you descend this staircase. Now there are these tall, winding walls that give the appearance of a wave and are separated by only a few feet. At the right time of day, beams of light shine down through the slot canyon's openings.
The most unique thing is I had someone cry on my tour. They said the vibe they get inside the canyon, you know, they feel like a spiritual connection with the canyon.
Antelope Canyon lies on Navajo Nation ground, and you can only walk through with a tour guide. The best reviewed guiding company is Dixie Ellis's, with very knowledgeable folks teaching you how to take the best pictures, how water erosion created this spectacle, and about Native American history.
Just give them an experience that they can't get anywhere else. Our motto is, you know, this is just a tour, it's an adventure. We want you to go home with memories, something you won't be able to forget.
There is no forgetting this towering sandstone sculpture. And Dixie Ellis does a package deal with Kayak Lake Powell. So in the afternoon, you can then experience a different part of the more than 10-mile long Antelope Canyon.
Kayaking through it, you just get a different experience. It's a more personal with nature and people like that. It's more solitude.
Kayak Lake Powell's super friendly guides take you on a 6-mile trip alongside the massive walls with different shades of red rock. And novices, fear not. The company estimates 70% of its customers are first-time kayakers.
There's no current in the lake. It's usually nice, easy paddle. They just are blown away by the scenery going through the canyon, so they don't really even notice how far they go.
Kayak Lake Powell has a couple of bonuses, too, to break the trip up. Oh my God! Like a stop for cliff jumping and swimming. In summer, Lake Powell's water averages 80 to 85 degrees. And the halfway point of the journey is where the water stops and the canyon really narrows. So you get another chance to walk through a section of Antelope Canyon. It's not the most famous part, but still pretty darn spectacular and no crowd.
It's literally a geographic most people have only dreamed of or seen in movies. It's just insane. So people are awestruck most of the time. So a lot of pictures. It's a lot of, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is a real place.
To complete the trilogy, that night at sunset, we did an Antelope Canyon boat tour, just to make sure we knew everything about this petrified Navajo sandstone. It's a relaxing 90-minute trip that starts and ends at Lake Powell Resort, which is also where we stayed. The view from the resort's main restaurant, as well as the balcony of many of the rooms, is something like this. The next day, we got to exploring more of Lake Powell on a pontoon boat. To say it is massive would be selling it short. Lake Powell is the second largest man-made lake in the country, with more than 2,000 miles of coastline. There are 96 major side canyons, and the water can go as deep as 560 feet.
It's like every 15, 20 minutes you're somewhere different, but it's still that beautiful red rock desert and in the middle of a lake.
With all that space, houseboats are quite popular, with bedrooms, bathrooms, a kitchen area, a bar, a grill, a water slide, They allow families or multiple families to stay out on the lake for days at a time.
It's fully stocked with everything you need to live out on the water for a week, which is crazy to me personally that you can like just stay on this floating thing for a week and not need to go back, but you literally, it's like a floating hotel room.
Lake Powell and Antelope Canyon are true geologic wonders and vast, best seen on foot or by kayak or by boat. Really, you can't go wrong.